Welcome to Sugar Buzz Bakery, where deep, rich tradition meets a modern taste. I'd like to first talk to you a little bit about our concept. We are a wholesale bakery, S Corp, set up in Denver, North Carolina. An up-and-coming business in a residential community close to Uptown Charlotte. Founded theoretically in 2016. Sugar Buzz does primarily wholesale dessert service, small retail space in a business park, which will expand into a larger distribution using driver delivery systems. Looking at the rapidly changing product trends and food and beverage systems, superfruits, functional ingredients, savory, ethnic, all the things that are trending right now. That's one of the things that we're trying to keep up with at Sugar Buzz is unique flavors that help market the product, and obviously getting the chefs to taste our products and getting involved with the community. And some of our other marketing strategies consist of internet flyers and community outreach. Our ideal client, once again, like I was saying, we're primarily wholesale. Sugar Buzz ideal client is cafes, hotels, restaurants in about a 50-mile radius of the facility in Denver, North Carolina. This primarily reaches Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, but it also reaches some of the smaller counties around there. And you'll see here in the donut chart how we kind of broke it down as far as the demographics. So as we move in, we're going to talk a little bit about the team. Once again, Sugar Buzz Wholesale Board of Directors consists of 3 members, President, CEO, Senior Vice President, and a future CAO, or actually marketing person. 3 months after the Articles of Corporation have been executed, the Board of Directors will be fully established and executing decisions for Sugar Buzz. I am going to assume the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer position. Virginia Blount, my wife, will be assuming the President and CEO, and a future person will take over marketing and will be based on sales as we increase. With us being geared up towards the wholesale market, our largest goal is obviously to produce high quality, consistent product and a lot of good service to our customers. You can see a product example here. This is our oatmeal fudge bar, kind of camouflaged as far as the healthy oatmeal, but it's got a nice thick layer of fudge in the middle. And we'll talk a little bit about this is me. I'm a world certified master pastry chef, a graduate of culinary school. Got my bachelor's degree in international business with a focus in hotel restaurant management from Strayer University, and have gotten quite a few accolades up and down the East Coast, and I've worked in just about every facet of the industry. So looking at ownership of a facility like this is something we're definitely looking at. Our Chief Finance Officer and CEO, Virginia Blount, CPA, Middle Tennessee State University, Master's in Business and Accounting, and she's been everything from Fortune 500 companies down to currently working at the International Airport of Myrtle Beach as the Chief Financial Director there. So, and this is definitely something to have her on board as far as the accounting part. Our equity structure, when you look at our equity structure, the wholesale pastry shop executive chef, myself, I'd have 49%, Virginia would have 51%, and obviously as we expand, having 10,000 authorized shares, 5,000 shares issued at $200 a share, with our initial investment of $100,000, the remaining 5,000 shares will be held for future expansion. For instance, the CAO or marketing person. So this is our operations flowchart, and this is very important to realize that this project is built upon what starts off as a 2-person operation and then builds further and further and further into another operation. And folks, for those of you that do know me in this program, I am building a model chart that would allow others to expand their entrepreneurial spirit once they get out of the culinary school industry where I work now. So obviously I'm using myself and my wife, thinking of another mom and pop operation for our students as they come through the programs. So once again, I would be the owner and executive chef. My spouse is also an owner and CFO. Then eventually you'll see here we can add in a future full-time sales and marketing person, which would be driven not only from a salary aspect, but also from a commission aspect. As we grow and you get past 20, 30 accounts doing wholesale, we can add the lead production specialist as well as a logistics and procurement person. The logistics and procurement person is key, and we'll get into that here in a moment. This lead production specialist will be managing an AM baker full-time and a PM baker full-time, 2 separate shifts. So that way we can continue to keep up with the product. The logistics and procurement person, which kind of has an office position there in the kitchen, is in charge of the delivery. It's a full-time person. And then a utilities and part-time delivery. So if there's ever an incident where our delivery person is out, the utilities can help out. And this last position down here is temporary packaging. This is for when business gets really busy, looking at possibly bringing in an older retired individual, or maybe a mom or a dad who maybe has some extra time during the daytime while kids are at school, or possibly even a school student from a local culinary school. So, and that helps with when business ramps up and then slows back down. You don't have that permanent person on your payroll. As we look, this is some of the skills and specifications of the owner, and it really kind of highlights training, management, food cost, quality controls, planning, pricing, those things, and more importantly, a love and passion to want to do this. A little bit of background as far as that. Chief Financial Officer and their duties as far as taking care of finance, human resource strategies, and taking care of developing an organizational strategy that will help the company move forward. As we look down here, the lead production specialist, this person is really kind of like a sous chef for the executive chef and the owner. Second in command, a person that takes care of those things. We know, and it's one of the things that we coach quite frequently, is as an owner, you have to be able to work on your business, not in your business. So once this gets a little bit further off the ground, this person really becomes the key person, making sure that the cogs in the wheel are doing what they're supposed to do and taking care of the day-to-day operation. While the face of the company, the executive chef, is possibly going out and selling to customers, and then obviously spending time working on the business and not just in the bakery. And this creates a very slippery slope, I think, for a lot of our students when they come out of culinary school that say they want to own a bakery. And I ask them, do they enjoy baking? And they say yes. And I say, so why do you want to own one? Why don't you just go and bake yourself? And it's definitely something to take into account. And down the road, I think, as we get further and further into the program, you'll understand where it becomes, do you hire the right people to run your business so that you can do what it is that you love, which is baking. And that's definitely something to look at. As we move down, AM, PM baker positions, primarily these positions are geared solely towards just baking, making sure that the place is clean, responsible for internal and external customer service, so making sure that the employees are happy and doing what they're doing as well. And this person usually has a little bit of education from a local culinary school in baking. As we move forward, this becomes a very key, important person. The logistics coordinator and procurement officer becomes an extremely important position as you move forward building your business. How are you procuring your food? How are you getting your food out to your vendors? So on and so forth. And this position really becomes very, very important in making sure that you're saving money and at the same time keeping up with what you need. Kitchen porter, as far as I'm concerned, probably one of the more important positions in the kitchen, making sure everything's clean and organized, and also keeping up with store food deliveries and making sure that everything's rotated out. Delivery driver, a lot of people don't realize that when you look at your delivery driver, this person has to really buy into your company. He is the face that touches your customers every day. You have to make sure that that delivery driver is taking care of those folks when he meets with the customers, getting feedback and then communicating very well with those customers and letting them know maybe what's coming up next. Hey, chef's back at the shop and he's working on a new dessert item, so on and so forth. So those things are very, very important. And as we move forward, we went over the company as far as the fact that it's set up as service and retail operation with its main focus. But I think more importantly, when we get into our mission, and that's to provide top quality desserts and chocolate products, give the best service to our customers, be a part of the community, and then, sticking to your core principles. This is very, very important. I put a little bit about the industry analysis here. Even throughout the last couple of years, dessert sales have just stayed there. You're talking about $98.3 billion by the year 2018. This is huge. And even here in the beach, we're starting to see a major increase in desserts and breads. So it's not going anywhere. And obviously the premium chocolate market is still 12 to 14% of the overall U.S. market. It's crushing it. So it's doing really, really well. Pastry chefs in the past have geared more towards savory inspired chocolates and desserts. But one of the things that we see, and it always comes back around, is comfort. Things that are easy to wrap your head around as a customer. You can't go far out into left field with weird ingredients and things. You want to keep it simple, but keep things looking great. Management plan. Once again, we talked about the fact that we're going to have our 3, and it'll be established as an S Corp. I will act as the president and the voice for Sugar Buzz. And we have an advisory committee set up as well. And I had a question a couple years back about advisory committees. And I think it's probably one of the more important things that you realize that your advisors are directly connected to your kitchen and to your staff, and that give you a true, honest opinion of what you should be doing. And it's not just financial, it's also guidance as far as that. So in my case, a product architect, design and integration, Scott Lewis, he works for BB&T Bank, but he also does product architecture, which is really looking at the item itself and how it works, and how to integrate all that in. And then, of course, Chef Jerome Landreau, head of Cocoa Berry Academy, he's actually the person in charge of selling chocolates to a company. So you're able to find out maybe the trends of things that are looking, because you have a large company like Cocoa Berry, which is part of Berry Callebaut, which offers you an immense worldwide knowledge of trends in the industry. And of course, he's got a little bit of vetted interest. We're looking at, buying chocolate from him. And it really doesn't matter whose chocolate you buy. You're probably going to end up buying some form of chocolate from Berry Callebaut at one point. Company is based. It's one of the things we always constantly are trying to teach the students is sustainability, and assessing the impact of what your company, in this case Sugar Buzz operations, on the environment. Recycling paper, plastic, glass, looking at how your cardboard boxes can be redone, and obviously trying to get that to our customers as well, letting them realize that they can recycle the box. If we're making every other day deliveries, we can actually deliver in a sustainable container that doesn't get just thrown away and go to the waste. So using that packaging. And then lastly, we get to our company philosophy. And this is probably one of the biggest things that I try to coach entrepreneurs is make sure you have a company philosophy and then a QEP. Every single bit of your customer, whether it be internal or external, has to believe in this philosophy. It helps them realize that there's a plan. There's nothing worse than working for an entrepreneur who doesn't have a good, sound plan and how they're working. And I think if you have that plan well devised, that your customers internally and your customers externally will buy what you're selling because they realize that you have it together and you're organized and you're going to come through with what you promise. So make sure you set up a philosophy for your company. Thank you so much. This has been a very interesting class. It's not been my easiest class. We've had a lot going on here. We've been opening up Layers Bakery. So this is now my third venture that I've opened up. And this time it's inside the walls of the International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach. So if any of you are down in Myrtle Beach, come on down to the International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach and check out Layers Bakery. You can also check us out on our Facebook page at International Culinary Institute of Myrtle Beach. Thank you so much. This has been Geoff Blount from ENT 600, Section 50 at Western Carolina University. Thank you so much and have a sweet evening.